Yeah, I've been thinking about this all day. At the time of recording, it's been about 18 hours since the news came out. Um, Akira Toriyama has passed. The creator of Dragon Ball, unfortunately, has passed away. 68. Still quite young, really. Like, taken from us way too soon. And I didn't really think I was gonna record a video about this, but I don't know why. It's just been on my mind all day, really. Like, not in like a I'm like depressed, blah 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 way. It's just more. It's just been there, you know. It's just been at the back of my mind for most of the day, and I don't know. I just feel like I kind of just wanna just talk about it, you know. I feel like it's just healthy to talk about something that's like weighing on your mind quite a lot, and because this is impactful. This is like an icon of um, southern and western media. Like, that's a rare talent. You can look through hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of shows, movies, comics, manga. His legacy is just there. It shows. Like, it really does show how much of an impact he made on the world. And I don't think he'll ever truly die. I think he just will. His legacy and the fandom will just carry on his drive, his force, his the characters that he made. I don't think they'll never leave. I don't think they'll ever leave. One of I don't actually. It's really weird with Dragon Ball. I don't actually remember that well, like my earliest experience with it. I do remember that. I think I caught them on like Cartoon Network, maybe it was Boomerang. I'm not entirely too sure, but I remember catching some form of like the Saiyan saga back when I was like a young kid, and then a few years later, I had one of those like like you get like one of those dodgy Fire Sticks that like let you watch like a bunch of shows. That's how I watched a lot of Sonic X growing up, and Dragon Ball was on there, and I do remember it. And I remember sitting there and watching through all of it in the mid 2000s, and it blew me away. I just fell in love with it, and then I remember getting the the orange boxes a few years later as like a big birthday gift, and I went and rewatched it through all again, and it just yeah, I don't know. There's something about it. It just I love it. And then I read through it all again. I went back and watched Dragon Ball, watched GT. Super was such a big part of my adolescence growing up. Sitting around with my friends and just discussing like what does the next episode mean? What is this? Seeing UI Goku for the first time, it was insane. Not the gaming sphere. Oh, I remember as bad as the game was, Ultimate Tenkaichi, I thought was like the pinnacle of what a Dragon Ball game could look like as a kid. Like, I still love Budokai Tenkaichi 3, and I still do this to this day. But I remember getting Ultimate Tenkaichi just based on like the box art and like what the game looked like on the back, and I was like, this is the show. I do remember this. I was like, that is like I remember just going like training mode, and then just envisioning like what if battles and whatnot that could happen, and I found it so interesting because I thought like, this is the anime. This is as close as we're gonna get to the anime, and it was just so good back in the day. Raging Blast, of course, big part of my childhood. Budokai Tenkaichi 3, of course. Xenoverse. Don't get me started on Xenoverse, man. Xenoverse 2 has such a big impact. It's one of my favorite games of all time. I know it has issues. I don't care, and it just means like so much to me, and the fact that the creator of that is gone. I don't know. I feel like there's just something, you know. I'm like, it's not like when like like when Etika passed, like that is like the last time. I think that was on a more bigger scale because yeah, I was actively watching about that. Toriyama has a very private life, as a lot of you probably will know. So it's not like I'm like emotionally distraught over it. It's just more the fact that like I'm kind of just processing it. That like this is a thing that happens. Like I know it was gonna happen eventually. Like that's just a thing of life, but it happened. I was just kind of processing with Etika. I was like actually distraught because I've been watching that man on streams and all that stuff, and I feel like this is like the same, but just I'm just processing it in a different way. And I feel like in like 2 days I'm gonna be like, oh, this is like a real thing that happened. Well, this is like an actual thing. If you tell I'm like rambling on, by the way, of course I have no script for this. I'm looking off to the side to see if my new mic or anything goes bad, and one of the main reasons I'm recording this is the next video I had planned to do like within the week was a Dragon Ball related video, and I just kind of felt it be wrong to either just ignore it or slow down that video by just tacking on this onto like the beginning or end of it. So I just feel like it just gets like a dedicated video on its own. I just feel like that'd be good, and then I'll just dive into that Dragon Ball video at that point. I've got another Dragon Ball series coming up this year, hopefully, with a friend. I'm hoping that goes really well. I'm looking. That's one I most look forward to things of this year, YouTube wise. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird. For Dragon Ball projects in the future, like I know that like Daima's gonna hit differently, and I've heard this sentiment everywhere on Twitter, but yeah, Daima's gonna be interesting now, because that's like as well officially publicly acknowledged that is the last thing he has worked on, as of like from public knowledge. They could, I'm assuming he's been the Twitter post announcing it said that he had some other stuff that he was working on in the background, because of course I think he was doing Sandland stuff. He might have been doing Dragon Quest. I'm not entirely sure if he's still working on Dragon Quest, like as a character designer. But I only really experienced Toriyama's work through Dragon Ball. I never read Doctor Slump. I've seen a bit of Blue Dragon and Dragon Quest. Chrono Trigger, I've unfortunately never finished. That's a sin of mine. I've never really gone through and finished it, but I love the character designs of it. It is absolutely amazing. But yeah, just I don't know. I there's something really great about seeing like the online space is mostly negative nowadays. Like that's just how it is. But to wake up and see so many different people from walks of life you just wouldn't expect to like talk about him, to just give their condolences. Like you can't scroll through any social media today within like 3 seconds seeing something, and I think that right there just goes to show how influence this man had over like media. Yeah, I'm kind of running out of shit to say here, so I think I'll just if you have a favorite moment from anything he's done, and you just want to share it, post it on social media. Just post it on social media. Leave it in the comments. I don't care how you get it out there. I think it just needs to be said. I think mine would have to probably be Vegeta. Like the first time we saw Vegeta, that fucking blew my kid mind just out of the water. That like we could have seen Gotenks before, but like this is like two of my favorite characters. And now one or another one is watching Vegeta go Super Saiyan for the first time, and then like he was like top of the pecking order for me as like immediately the best character, and then watching Android 18 kick the shit out of him and break his arm. I still want to that is cemented in my head as like, if that didn't happen, I'd probably still be like a Vegeta fanboy, but I think Android 18 just told me, no, this character's a lot better. Like, you just... Vegeta's limelight has been stolen. So Android 18 has always been one of my favourite characters in Dragon Ball, just for that moment alone. Just for the arm break. I think it's such an amazing moment. But, yeah. I mean, I don't think it even needs to be said at this point, but I think we could form a spirit bomb. The amount of energy that this message, I think, has been said today, but rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. I know he's probably already fucking gone down all of Snake Way at this point. That goat probably just went, yeah, I'll just fucking go down. Don't mind me, I'll do it in like a day. So yeah, I hope you all have a fantastic day, afternoon, evening, night, whenever you're going to watch this. Yeah, just take care.